So it's Wednesday. It's 8:30. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know why we're here for. This is a podcast for the only team. Let me repeat that. The only team with double-digit wins in the NFL. The best team in the NFL. I don't care what you want to tell me. Everybody says you are only as good as your record. Our record says we're better than everybody else, so that means we're better. So welcome, one and all, to another episode of the Eagles Elite Podcast. I won't say the best Eagles show out there, but one of the best Eagles shows out there. I got to say that. But everybody, going to be bringing everybody on here in a few moments. First, I'm going to shout out Mr. JC Sports Talks. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you hopping on and joining us. So we'll start, as always, with my guy here, Mr. Wyatt. What's going on, Wyatt?
Not too much, man. I'm excited to talk about this loaded show that we're going to have here today. A lot of Eagles news to talk about. Of course, breaking down the games and everything. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, sir. And then the one and only, the incomparable, Miss J Swoop.
What up, everybody? Bird Gang family. I would just take 10 seconds to say hi to my mom and dad who watch us every single week live. They're my super fans, Dawn and Tom. And Alyssa, Eagles Locker Room. Thank you for watching us every week live also.
Hello, Mom and Dad, and hello, Alyssa. Thank y'all for watching. And I'm going to slide in Miss Eagles Diva as well.
I got one thing for everybody. One thing.
Lady.
What's up, y'all? We ready. 10 and 1. Who 10 and 1? Who else 10 and 1? I'll wait.
I don't know. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a special guest for you. We told you we were bringing more people on. So we're going to bring on King DV. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me on your platform, man. What's going on, Jen? I'm just happy to be here, man. Talk Eagles, man. You know, I just came off of mine to come and speak to more content creators like yourselves to, you know, just enjoy the platform. So let's get to it.
You already know. Before we get to it, there is one little thing that we got to slide in, because if you can't get hyped with this, you shouldn't be on this show.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got that out of the way. So now it's time to get to the meat and potatoes. So, as always, we know our guy for breaking news is the one and only Wyatt. So, Wyatt, what you got for us tonight, bro?
Yes, sir. I mean, the first thing is the biggest news out of today was they announced the offensive, defensive, and like special teams players of the week for each conference. And, you know, our boy just doing it once again. Jalen Hurts, offensive player of the week for the NFC here. He was player of the month back in September. He's getting it just a player of the week this week, though. And, I mean, he deserved it. I mean, we're going to be getting into the game itself, but, man, he had a hell of a game.
Yes, he did. And Wyatt, you talking about the guy that everybody said should be our quarterback? So you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people saying that now. I mean, there was a lot of stuff spoken before the season and probably maybe through the first couple games, but a lot of those people are a little quiet now.
You talking about the quarterback to be Mike Vick in him now? You talking about little Mike Vick? Be Mike Vick in him out there? That's what they talking about.
Get it.
Coach Dante, what's up, bro? Appreciate
what's
you.
Up, Coach?
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 Coach Dante? What's up, bro?
Yeah, Coach Dante, man. He me and him do the live games together when I've done the live watch alongs. So, you know, definitely appreciate having Coach Dante up here watching us, man. But yeah, man, it's funny. Because I mean I thought all season that Jalen Hurts wasn't a quarterback. and we was gonna have to get somebody else, and there's no way he could improve, and he couldn't throw the ball deep, and he couldn't read defenses, and he was just a running back playing quarterback. It's funny how a few months can change a lot of opinions, and that's why me and Wyatt, people who've been on the show, and I'm sure the rest of our people on the panel here, you give them time. Give them time. You give somebody more than really one season as a starting quarterback before you write him off. Before you start talking about he can't do things that he can do, but he didn't do well because, admittedly, he needed to improve in some areas. But that's what the offseason's for. That's what this man has done. So I know we have other breaking news, but if anybody else would like to give their thoughts on Mr. Hurts, feel free.
Go ahead, D.
Well, all right. Well, all right. I got my hat on for a reason.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Love
I
it.
say hi to everybody first. Now, I've been arguing all day on Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, it's King DV Sports on Twitter. But been arguing all day on how Jalen Hurts deserved the MVP more than Patrick Mahomes. Now, a lot of people are saying because he makes better plays, like video game plays, or he has more yards and everything like that. Think about this, y'all. 2019, Lamar Jackson only had 31 plus 100 yards. He didn't really have the yards, the passing yards for that. Of course, my bro JC, he's in the building right now. He basically was telling me that he had about 40 something odd yards. I mean, touchdowns. So I really think that Jalen Hurts being at 25 touchdowns right now, 2,500 plus yards passing, 597 yards rushing. I really believe that he deserved more of the MVP nod than Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes, of course, he's been doing this. If it went by yards, passing yards, Jameis Winston would have been MVP of 2019 because he led the lead in passing yards. Let's just keep it 100. Jalen Hurts deserves everything that he's put the work in, man. He's coming off of an ankle injury in the beginning of the season, and he's just been consistent. He never once have I heard any content creators, including y'all guys, say that Jalen Hurts put us in a position to lose. Never.
That is facts.
But he always put us in a position to win. You see what I'm saying? So he needs to be the MVP of this league. But I get it. Because he's a Philadelphian. We get, crap thrown at us all the time. They start talking about the Cowgirls. They start talking about the Commanders doing good. Geno Smith got right now, and I thought it was a fluke before I checked it. Geno Smith got more Pro Bowl votes than Jalen Hurts right now.
It's crazy. I saw that, man. I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't either.
I couldn't believe it.
I just want to say to that, man, my only comment is, and I know you hear this from me a lot, no one likes us, so we don't care.
Right.
And Pat Mahomes has like 8 picks too, I think, already on the season. It's like Jalen has like 2 or 3, and like 2 of them wasn't even his fault.
Right.
They bounced off the receiver's hands.
But he's the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback, man. That's that makes a difference in the vote.
But that just goes to show you nobody watched Jalen as a quarterback when he was at Alabama or Oklahoma. I mean, because like he upped his game each time, especially in Alabama, and then when he went to Oklahoma, it's kind of like Devontae Smith. So, I mean, I'm not understanding why people thought Jalen wasn't going to transition that into the NFL once he put his mind to it. Like, Jalen is a very determined man, and you could tell that when he was in college. So, when he came to the NFL and he had that chance, that's what he done, and that's what he's been doing, and that's why we are where we are, because we have a true leader of the team. Like, your quarterback has to be a leader, and he is basically our Tom Brady. It's in my opinion.
Not like the other guy.
Right.
No, but to piggyback off of what Eagles Diva said real quick, don't want to take nobody time, but shout out to Shane Steichen for actually catering the offense around Jalen Hurts, what he was dealing with in Alabama. Last year it was like a guinea pig. We were trying stuff. We were 9-8. Now it's like, everything is catered towards him to the point where now he can control everything, and he looks way more comfortable. Even after working with quarterbacks in the offseason, he looks way more comfortable than what he did last season. You know, coming off the ankle injury, I thought he was going to have like a little rust or anything like that, and he just like picked it up every single week. Yes, he had hiccups throughout the game, but when it mattered, he made the pivotal game-winning plays, and that's all you could ask for. QB1, MVP, whatever you want to call him at this point.
Yeah. And what's crazy is he's going to get even better. Not
Right.
just through the rest of the season, but going into the seasons to come. Because like we already talked about, the haters are silent. There's people out here already talking about contract extension, like already. Like people already talking about what the price is going to be and everything. Like we usually like kind of chill on that. We'll talk about that in the off season. But man, like we gotta lock this dude down. I agree, because this, like, he's proven to us, not just on the field but off the field, that he can lead this team and be a franchise quarterback.
Pay the damn man. Pay him.
Pay that man. I don't want to go through a Lamar Jackson situation.
Jason, what's you got?
Well, I was thinking about what King DV said. When there are hiccups, he shows that he's a leader, because every team's going to make hiccups or mistakes, or someone's going to drop the ball. It happens. It matters what happens after that. There was a saying, if you get knocked down, it doesn't matter how you got there. It means, how did you get yourself back up is what matters, and what happened after that. So that was a very good point about Jalen. And Diva and I were talking during the week, and I'm glad that he is taking initiative and rushing the ball when the opportunity presents itself. I think that's what a leader does. I just pray and all that he doesn't get hurt with what he does. And you know what? She and I talked about that. Reminds me of Michael Vick. He ran the ball a lot. He picked it up when he had to. When I say pick it up, I mean he picked up the slack when he saw the opportunity and had to do it. And I see the same thing in Hurts. I'm not saying that I'm comparing the two. They're both great quarterbacks, in my opinion. And I think it took at least until he was 24 and this year before he got into the rhythm with the play caller and had some stability in that to get used to it. So why that there are always haters? Diva said something about people always said bad things about him. And I know she meant people by sportscasters and fans, or both. And I don't know if that's a Philly thing or if that's a Philly and we're in first place thing, but I don't know. I see it as every time we're picked on, and even though we're not underdogs by record, we always get picked on. That kind of seems to fuel the team a little bit to be that way. That's just how I see it. So I just see Jalen Hurts going forward. Excuse me. Probably the beginning of last year, didn't know if he was going to be a franchise quarterback. I didn't still see enough, but I'm pleasantly a little bit surprised about how well he's picking up everything this season. So y'all haters can keep hating. I don't care. To me, Jalen's just showing, like it's been said, that he's a leader. He's picking up the slack where he needs to. He's throwing and doing whatever he's supposed to do to help us win. And he's not trying to be the star of the game. It's a team thing. It's a team effort between the coaches and all the players. And that's what I see. And that's a big, huge thing, that he leads a team and brings them all together. So now I'm taking up too much time. So y'all go ahead.
I dig that. All right, Wyatt, what else we got for breaking news, sir?
Yeah, I mean, since we're talking about Hurts already, and we already mentioned Michael Vick, might as well mention Hurts broke Michael Vick's rushing record for a QB in a game with 157 rushing yards this game. Man, I was kind of hoping. I was like, man, take it to 2. Why not? You already have 157. Take it to the 200. But, man, at that point, you got to protect QB at some point, too.
Yeah, that's true.
But a couple more records here. Jason Kelsey broke Chuck Bednarik's record for consecutive starts with 170.
Wow.
Which is crazy. This dude is Iron Man out here, not missing a game at all.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him for sure.
Kelsey.
Yes, sir.
A couple more things here. Miles Sanders set a new career high in rushing yards with 900 on the season. It's looking like as long as we keep going the way we're going, he's going to have over 1,000 yards. And exactly the season we wanted out of him going into like a contract year, And he also... he's set to be the first 1,000-yard rusher since McCoy in 2014, which it's been a while since we had a 1,000-yard rusher, man. So it's
That's a
about
long
time.
time. Good
Oh,
Lord,
It's
that's
a long time.
Lord.
That ain't even funny.
The last record I have here, our boy Jake Elliott passed David Akers for the most 50-plus yard field goals in the Eagles franchise. So, man, Jake Elliott out here just being elite. You know, he's just knocking them all down. Like, you don't
Oh.
see him miss
Hashtag being
very
elite.
often.
Hashtag elite.
Hashtag be elite. Exactly.
I just got to put this up one more time. Yep.
Okay, man.
That's my bro. That's my bro, man. My co-host, man. He got me doing this thing, man. JC Sports Talk.
That's
He-
dope. That's dope.
Supportive,
Thanks,
man.
thanks, JC.
And Alyssa talks about if we win Sunday, we get a playoff spot. That is true, Alyssa, but we need a couple
was my
of
next
other
point.
things to happen.
Yeah.
My bad. I'm gonna stop. I'll let you go. You got it, bro.
Oh no, you got. That's what I was going to say. Is we had the opportunity to clinch a playoff spot this weekend. Pretty much what's going to happen. There's two ways this can happen. We have to win, of course. Washington has to lose to the Giants. San Fran has to lose, and then the Seahawks have to lose as well. The other way it can happen is, of course, we win. Washington has to tie. San Fran has to lose, and Seattle has to lose. But either way, most of those teams have to lose in order for us to get into the playoffs real early. But that
But
would
yeah,
be
that
sweet,
is-
man. Talk about that next week if that happened.
Yeah, that'd just be step one. We still got a couple more steps after that. You know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's-
But that's really the
they
main thing I
have to.
had as far as breaking news that wasn't like injury related, which we'll get to.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, man, we might as well just go ahead and get it out of the way now, man.
There's a segue.
The Segway King, we'll call him.
Did anybody want to break the injury news, or you want me to go with it?
You got it. Why? That's you.
Get it.
Yeah.
Go.
Let's
All right.
go.
As everybody knows, our boy CJ GJ went down in the game. Had a rough hit on Watson on that pass, and it looked like he was going to be like a cracked rib or something. But it came out he had like a lacerated kidney, which is
Whoa.
it's pretty serious, man. But I mean, it's so weird because I looked into it, and a lot of articles are already out about it. Depending on how it was injured, like even just how severe the laceration was can really dictate how much time he misses. Like Zach Ertz missed like 2 games a couple years ago when he had it happen. There's been players that are out for like 6 weeks to 8 weeks with it. So like there's really no timetable. It doesn't seem like they're going to be putting him on IR at this point. So my guess is they're hoping he can be back within that 4-game span.
Yeah, within like 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, because they're not
Yeah,
guys will go ahead
so-
and put him on IR. Yeah.
So does
So
that mean
hopefully
he
that's
was?
the
I'm
case.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Is
you're
that-
good.
Does that mean that CJ was the injury was to his back with the rib? Because kidneys are back there, and it wasn't. I'm guessing it wasn't a front rib because I don't see it.
I'm not sure. Just like from what I saw, apparently just like slamming into something super hard, that could be enough just to lacerate.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to hit something sharp or anything. It could just lacerate from being hit really hard. So I'm not sure. I would have to go back and look at the hit again to see like how it happened.
When I looked it up, as soon as I got the news that's what it was, I looked it up and I'm like, yo, that's crazy. As they said that you get this injury if you're in a car accident. This was a grown man or grown men hitting him the wrong way to the point where he fell down the way that he did, to the point where I said right then and there, I'm like, he's on IR 4 weeks tops. I said he's going to come back to Saints game. And what better way to come back because you're playing at your old team. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was at with it. I'm hoping that he can come back to Saints game just to, get, prepped up for
Yeah,
playoffs.
get him acclimated to game time again going into the playoffs.
Right. So yeah, I hope him speedy recovery. But we do got some other injuries. I did do on my show that people are coming back. So some good news, hopefully.
Yeah, they
Yes, sir,
activated
yes,
the 21-day window on Jordan Davis, and on top of that, he participated through walkthroughs today. So it's looking like he's going to be a full go at practice over the next 2 days, and then probably going to play. I would assume that they're going to have him on some kind of snap count restriction, especially with some of the depth we have bringing in Suh and Linval Joseph.
Yeah. Definitely.
Can someone remind me when your IR is it minimum 4 weeks? I forget that you have to
Yes.
be out. It is.
Yeah.
It's minimum 4, and then you have to activate their window. So when they
Okay.
activated this window, that kind of put it to a point where it's a good solid chance that he can play this week, because they could have just left him on IR if he wasn't going to be able to play this week and waited until next week.
With the Arlington football team, their QB, didn't he not go on IR so they could bring him back when they wanted? I think it was him. I'm not sure.
I think he was on IR, but
Yeah, I think
they
he
didn't.
was
Yeah, they brought him off IR and they still didn't play him.
on.
They
Yeah,
went-
against
they should've
us.
went
He
with-
didn't want to. He didn't want to play against us.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say that.
Same with the other boy there in Arlington.
Brian, what's
Hi,
going on, man?
Brian.
Thanks for watching. All right. Any other injury updates to talk about, Wyatt?
Yeah, apparently Dallas Goedert is in great spirits. Apparently
Yay.
doesn't have a sling on his arm. He's walking around the locker room and he's saying that he's hoping to be available as soon as he comes off IR. So it's looking like, as far as injuries, we really kind of dodged the bullet on everything so far. I haven't seen anything on Avonte Maddox because he's going to be available, I believe, next week. So I haven't seen anything on him yet, but it's looking like Dallas Goedert was probably going to be a full go as soon as he's available.
So they were saying on Twitter, just to piggyback off what you're saying, that Dallas Goedert could be back as soon as the Bears game.
Okay.
When we go against the Bears, that's where his aim is at. Right
Yeah,
now,
so that's
he's
like 2 weeks,
it's
I
still,
think.
yeah, he still got some pain, but that's his aim. His aim is the Bears game. So
That's what's up.
Well, we need him back.
We don't need him.
Yes.
'Cause I think now Devontae and Pascal have grown injuries. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were limited. It was just a walkthrough today, but apparently, from what they're saying, they should be all right. They should be good to go.
We hope so.
But with our injuries, the rest of the team just picks it up for them when they're not there. That's a team, you know. It's not just one person or two. People get injured, and the rest of the team, you know, picks up slack for them. That's what I love about the Eagles.
Yeah. Shout out to AJ Brown, man, because for those who don't know, he was sick all last week. He lost 7 pounds from throwing up all week.
Oh my
The blood
God.
vessel that was busted in his eye, that was from all the throwing up he was doing all week. Still went out, played. So I think a lot of people, including myself, I forgot about it during the game when he dropped the ball and fumbled.
me too.
He made up for it, though.
I was hot with him, but
Me too. Me too.
when I thought about it, I said, man, this dude is out here playing. He done lost 7 pounds. He's been so sick. So, that's a guy that gotta give him a little props for getting out there and playing and doing his best in that situation.
I think we were all like that, though. We were all like, this dude again, 2 weeks in a row.
No, because
I did
think about
that.
it. Think about it like this, y'all. I'm 10 minutes away from the field.
Oh,
I'm in South Philly.
I
right?
love it.
So I'm like, yo, if you on the field, you can play. That's how we are as Philadelphians, man. You can play. I don't care about no pink eye or whatever. But then I gotta be like, yo, he's young and he's going through stuff and all that. I gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. But 2-3 weeks tops fumbling, like that was a heartache for me, man.
Mhm.
That's why that on my show it was more of a bad for me that he's fumbling. The team should know that he's not 100%.
Right.
Don't go to him in certain situations where as though that he has to try to make a play. But AJ Brown, he's more of an arrogant head to the point where he's going to try to do the yards after catch. So I get it.
Speaking of that is a
Go ahead.
perfect segue. You don't even have to stop talking into the next topic.
Yeah, man. Give me the mic. So, but anyway, yeah, like that fumble, like I was talking about, that could have cost us. That could have cost us the game, man. And
Big time.
if it wasn't for Jalen Hurts opening up the playbook for Shane Steichen and Miles Sanders following his blocks, doing what he needs to do, this game could have been ugly because we couldn't rely on Jack Stoll. Jack Stoll was just a run blocking tight end. He's not one of those guys that can, it's a blitz coming, I could go underneath like Dallas Goedert. He's not none of that, So shout out to Shane Steichen knowing where his strengths were to the point where, it was an adjustment with not having Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert actually opened up the playbook for the AJ Browns and Devontae Smith. Like Dallas Goedert don't get enough credit from national media as he should.
Agreed.
As he should. He's a top 5 tight end. Like, come on now. I'll be happy as hell when he come back. As soon as he come back, I'm like, we good. Because on offense, he yards after catch, he's one of the top tight ends, if not the top tight end in yards after catch. You know, you got Travis Kelce out there, but at the same time, I'm biased. You don't have to be biased. I'm biased. Dallas Goedert is my guy.
I agree.
Shout out to Snowman with the Fly Eagles Fly. So Snowman, we're gonna put him in a dirty situation here in the playoffs, hopefully, because he's a 49ers fan as well. So hopefully we put him in a difficult situation.
They got great defense. They got great defense. I'll give him that.
And then Brian says, "How about Josiah Scott's pick? Nice Watkins was
Stole
amazing."
that from me.
But I'll say this: when it comes to that, Slay with the pop up to give him a chance to do the pop up.
There we go, bro.
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
Here's the thing. This is what I thought about after I went back because I had to rewatch the game because I did the play-by-play, so I had to go back and rewatch it just to watch the game. Jalen Hurts. This is that fumble was on Jalen Hurts. If you know your man is not 100%, you don't make a late screen throw to him when he doesn't have his blockers.
Right.
You gotta realize that you're headed at last minute. You either take off or go through another read. You don't make that play to him in that situation because you know, like King DV said, he's a little arrogant, so he's gonna try to get them extra yards and try to make the play for the team. So you don't give him the ball in that situation when you waited to the point where the blockers had got out because you waited a little bit longer than you probably should have to make that screen pass.
Hold on. Go what you said. I'm sorry. If you're the quarterback, right? You're the quarterback, and I come to you. We're got the same relationship that AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts has. And Jalen Hurts, you come to me and says, "Yo, bro, you good? Yeah, I'm good, man. Just throw me the ball." What you gonna do with $100 million man? You're gonna throw him the ball.
No, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do.
Go ahead.
When he turned around, I'm gonna be like, "That man ain't good." That's what I'm gonna do.
Look at that dude's eye. He ain't good.
You just lost 50 pounds, my dude. You ain't good. Nah.
You ain't good. I just saw you throw it up earlier. You ain't
Right,
good.
you skinny Batman right now. You skinny Batman.
Look, when he's looking at me, I'm like, "Okay, bro, that's what's up. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw this one
time
away.
to read,
No, he lost 7 pounds. He lost 7 pounds, but he's not Devontae Smith. You know,
We know that. What I'm saying, nah, you ain't throwing up that much. Nah, bro.
You
You
gotta
ain't
Devontae gets sick and lose 7
27
pounds.
pounds
You
for
ain't.
that.
There's no player going on that field. He ain't going out on that field. There's gonna
if
be nobody.
Devontae Smith lose a half a pound, he can't play.
Yeah. Ineligible.
That's my boy though. That's Smitty, my boy though.
So what do y'all think about the Packers game overall? Do y'all think that it's some things that we need to worry about? Because I already touched on this. I just want y'all opinion on it. You know,
Oh, it's
some things
always
y'all
nothing
need
to worry about.
Yeah. I mean,
Talk about
every week.
That run
Jonathan
defense.
Gannon. Yeah.
That John Gannon stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's the thing. He don't know how to make adjustments, and as I always say, he don't know how to call plays for his safeties and his CBs. He does not know how to call plays for the top safeties and CBs in the league. That is his problem. He doesn't know how to adjust. He doesn't know how to bring pressure when pressure needs to be brought. Because it ain't no way in the world Love should have came in and automatically hit a 14, 15, 25 yarder. I'm sorry. Like, it's no way that should even happen. Like, you should have been in that dude's face. I didn't see us in Aaron Rodgers' face a lot. We finally did get in his face, and he was on the ground. He had to go out. But that should have been done way earlier. Like, we should have been had pressure on him. He's not 100%. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers was 100%. And what did we say last week? We said
I thought he was.
No, he got a broke thumb, and
that's right. Boo boo.
He doing other stuff, taking psychedelics. Well, anyway, besides the point, we said you got to watch out for Watson. What happened? Watson, that boy bad. He gonna be good. Got to watch him. So we didn't do that. On the other end, We did what we were supposed to do. I don't like to see Jalen Hurts running like that a lot because you put yourself up to be injured. You know, you got people that's going to be coming for you. We have plenty of running backs that could do that, but I am appreciative for him putting the team on his back. But that can't be something he do every game. We can't afford that. We need him. I'm loving the way Miles Sanders is churning them legs. Y'all see that boy churning them legs? That boy be churning them legs now, and that's what it is. Like, we finally seeing the Miles Sanders we saw from college, and I'm glad that my boy is finally getting off. I'm glad that he is running. He's getting them yards. We actually starting to run the ball. Like, I can't believe we ran the ball that much. I was so happy. I was like, oh, we're running the ball. So, yeah, all in all, we got to fix Gannon. Gannon needs some help, y'all. Like, ASAP. Like,
Gannon need Jesus.
He needs something.
That's what he needs.
Oh my God.
Jason, what you got for us?
We're doing the whole game summary, yeah?
Yeah, whatever you want to talk about the game,
okay.
absolutely.
I forgot about this. Reed Blankenship. I saw that it was his first career interception.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Okay. It was beautiful. That's what I thought. First career interception. He's a rookie from quarterback Aaron Rodgers. And it was just, I should say the pouty Aaron Rodgers, because I don't know. Every time I see him, his face looks like a 3-year-old with the bottom lip sticking out. That's how it looks to me. So I'm sure somewhere Pouty said to some news media that it was intercepted because of his boo-boo thumb. I don't know. That's usually how he does it. So, and I made myself a note here. Blankenship is the first undefeated, first undrafted, rookie to pick off Aaron Rodgers. So sometimes with the stats, I have to make myself, excuse me, a little bit. And I got to mention that third sack on pouty Aaron Rodgers by 3 of our Eagles. I saw somewhere a headline that Aaron Rodgers was sandwiched by the Eagles. And that got me thinking, and my husband helped me like this. I heard through the grapevine that a couple of cheesesteak restaurants in Philly are going to run a special for a short time only. A Wisconsin cheese club sandwich delivered in a sack. Just a rumor, but a little bird whispered in my ear. Took me like 2 hours to work on that with my husband. But I just thought it was funny because 3 of us Eagles, now I got you laughing like Diva did to me. But it was just beautiful. I kept rewatching, like, is that 3 of our players on a sack? I was like, wow, well, club sandwich, 3 pieces of bread, 3 Eagles players. All right, let me be serious about that so I don't take everybody else's time. Wyatt and King mentioned a lot of the stats that I was going to also say, so thank you for doing that. The Packers lost, I think, their horrible run defense. I think that was the thing that stood out to me was their poor run defense. I mean, I think that was clear after it gave up over 360 yards on the ground. I'm so sorry, I'm sick. And 7 yards for the carry. Oh my gosh, I am so. All right, let somebody else go. I need something to drink here, clear my throat.
So I'll read Coach Dante here. He was saying that's one of the keys to the game versus the Packers. The Packers really don't have a good run defense. The Eagles went away from the run for almost 2 weeks. It was a good thing to see them run. Amen, brother. Amen. And then Alyssa says that thought it was good, and our defense definitely stepped up. I mean, they definitely did. And the thing with the defense is we look at the points, but they have a handicap every game. They are pulled down by, I don't want to say his name, that dude that's the defensive coordinator. You know, he just puts that zone.
Yeah, I hate it, man.
The Blankenship pick is who he was referring to. Brian says, so proud of you guys, Eagles League. Watch y'all grow. Appreciate that as well. Why? Go ahead, man. I'm
yeah, I mean, just go off of what Diva was saying. Like, as soon as this defense saw Aaron Rodgers like grabbing at his thumb or grabbing at his side, they should have been blitzing him. Almost not every play, but they should have been putting a lot of pressure on this dude. Like, he's already hurt. Get him out the game. Like at that point, like obviously you don't want to hurt somebody, but he's already hurt and banged up. Like put more pressure on him. Then he's going to be missing even more throws, especially with Jordan Love coming in. I don't think he wasn't thinking he was going to go in and play that game. So if you immediately go with pressure on him, that's going to get him uncomfortable right away. And I feel like that would have definitely helped from, a couple of those big plays we saw. But I feel like this is like right around the time as last season where we started running the ball more. And it seems like Steichen, whether if it was just the Dallas Goedert injury or like AJ Brown being sick on top of it, or just the game plan in general, if that's what they meant to do, hopefully we can keep this run game going forward, because that's how we were just killing teams through the back half of the season last year. And that's probably what we're going to have to do here going forward, and at least until we get some more guys healthy and that offense. I mean, the offense looked great this game. That defense is another story. That's going to be the real spotlight. It's going to be on that defense going forward here, especially with missing some guys. That's going to be a focal point of some of these offenses we're going to be seeing in the next couple of weeks. So, man, Jonathan Gann is going to have his hands full, and hopefully bringing in some of these dudes. Apparently they'll be hired from the Colts to help them out. Hopefully they're doing something this week, because you're going to have to be prepared for the Titans and then some of these other teams coming up that we cannot afford to lose to. But I mean, the offense did exactly what we needed to. Jalen Hurts put the team on his back like he has been the past couple weeks. It's super impressive. And Miles Sanders, I already talked about a little bit ago, like in the show, he's looking fantastic. Like this is the running back we've wanted out of him these past couple of seasons, and we're finally getting it here.
So
one more thing.
Go ahead.
That garbage special teams, y'all. Yeah.
Oh, I was about to touch on that.
Go ahead.
That's been a problem all year. And they're just taking advantage of us at this point, every team.
So I have two things that I need to say. Y'all covered a lot of the positive things. I completely agree with those, right? But I have two things that I need to say. Jonathan Gannon. You let Jordan Love come into the game. It looked like the heir apparent to Brett Favre and freaking Aaron Rodgers. This guy got in last year and looked like he didn't even belong in the NFL. He got in against what's supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. And because of what Coach Dante is saying right here that we talked about during the game, he came in. Thank you. Here's the thing. Jonathan Gannon, if you see this show, listen to me, because you need to hear this. I know I've never coached a football team on any level, but I've been a fan since I was a kid. I played football. Okay, so listen to me and listen clear. Your soft zone sucks, monkey balls. Everybody knows it's coming. In the middle, the handoff between the two zones, there's always a spot you can go sit. Either outside, going toward the sidelines. Out routes work all day on soft zones. It doesn't matter who the corner is. You can't play soft zone 90% of the time. You have corners that can cover one-on-one. You've got linebackers and safeties that can cover one-on-one. Bring pressure. Why was Jordan Love sitting in the pocket like Jalen Hurts is sitting in most weeks? Why? Why are we not pressuring him? Why is an injured Aaron Rodgers sitting back there with all day to throw? Yeah, and if you don't spear that dude, right. If we don't gangbang him at the quarterback, gangbang sacks all day, what are you doing?
Right.
Those are the type of things that irk my nerves. Now, we got a whole nother discussion. We don't even have time on this show, but I'm going to briefly touch on it. Special teams. I want to take you all behind the woodshed one by one and stomp a mud hole in you and walk it dry, because you are pathetic. And if you can't be better than that, we got to have guys on the practice squad that can be better than this. I am completely sorry. This is unacceptable. We've been sitting here watching this get worse and worse and worse every week. Y'all got to do something. Some of y'all need to go to somewhere else, practice squad, be cut, bring in some dudes off the street. They can do better than that. That's my opinion on those two things. The defense, the game planning gets on my last nerve. Now, there are times where the defense doesn't do their job as far as tackling. But I think you see that a little bit on every team. But that play calling, you better get that together, because we cannot continue to have that. If we want to go where we want to go and you call the plays like this,
Man, his
Me,
soft zone
Coach
is,
Dante, and us could get up there and call a better game than this.
Mhm.
he worse than Schwartz, Jim Schwartz. You hear me?
Yeah, at this point, I'd rather have Schwartz. I like give me Schwartz at this point, man. Like, you would think because putting more pressure on these QBs, that's going to help that secondary out even more. So, like, I don't understand why he chooses to do what he does. It doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, Coach Dante is giving y'all a breakdown. I agree with the breakdown, but bro,
Yeah,
I mean, when you give somebody a soft zone, like Coach Dante said, because me and him did the play-by-play, we watched the whole game. That's what happens.
and like maybe, but like maybe this worked when you had all of your starters, like the first like 5 games of the season. But now, like Avonte Maddox is out, GJ's out. You're going to have to adjust at some point.
I agree.
You like that?
Yeah, out route, stop routes, and the Packers was killed on a quick slant. It was some of the easiest slant routes I've ever seen.
That's been for a couple
Yeah.
weeks. We saw
Yeah,
that
that's-
out of Washington. We saw it out of the Colts. We saw it out of the Packers. These slants and these quick games, it's just getting us.
Yeah, and
And,
I
like,
was
yeah.
watching. I was telling Coach Dante about it. He was like, "I'm gonna watch." And he looked. He was like, "Dad, right? It's so obvious. If you're not attacking those areas, if you're the other team, then your offensive coordinator is an idiot."
I have a question for y'all. Do y'all think that it's
Shoot it.
more of Avonte Maddox being injured than having Josiah Scott in there in the slot? That the slants is hurting us?
No.
I not mainly, but I think it doesn't help because I think Avonte was fast and was able to cover those areas.
Mm.
But even when Avonte was in there, we still had the same problem.
Yeah,
Because of
on
his
certain areas.
To an extent. To an extent.
Not, yeah.
Not this bad.
Not as bad, but
Yeah.
still.
But see,
And
you gotta
plus, we
remember-
were doing well with the run at that point too in most games.
Yeah, but see, you got to remember too. Now people have more tape of seeing. Oh, they're gonna keep playing this zone.
True.
They're gonna keep playing this stupid zone. So if that's what they're
Yeah.
gonna do, we're gonna hit them. All right, guys. We could talk about the bad of the game all day. I know I could just by myself, but you know what I'm saying. We're gonna move on to the player or pariah of the game. King DV, since you're our guest, bro, we're gonna start it with you.
You said the player of the game?
Your player
Yeah.
or pariah of the game.
Jalen Hurts is the player of the game, bro. Jalen Hurts. The prior of the game. I'm gonna do this because he hasn't had a really good game all season. So I'm gonna do this for him on this channel. Fletcher Cox had a good game against the Green Bay Packers. He really did.
Yeah.
He did.
You did.
So I'm gonna give him
Fletcher
that.
Cox.
I'm gonna give him his flowers. And
All
I'm
right,
done
Eagles
with that.
DV, what you got?
I mean, I know everybody gonna pick Jalen, so I'm gonna go with Miles. My boy Miles.
Oh,
Miles.
All right, Jace, who you got?
but that's I was laughing with Diva because we talked about it earlier, and I'm like, well, Jalen Hurts was player of the game for me, and I'm like, well, a bunch of people are gonna pick that, so I'll pick somebody else. So I picked Miles Sanders. So that's why I was laughing because she mentioned to me that she was going to go with Jalen Hurts, which was why I picked somebody else. And then she said Miles. I learned tonight that his nickname is Booby Miles, and I don't
Yes,
know why.
Booby.
Yep, Booby.
Yeah.
Run, Booby, run. Run,
Right.
Booby.
Friday Night Lights, right? That's what I thought. But just very short, I picked Booby Miles for the reason that I think Wyatt mentioned with 143 yards in a game since Sean McCoy had 159 yards in Arlington in 14. So, I mean, just for this game, it was, I thought he just stood out. So many people do. And Jake Elliott, excuse me. I'm so sorry. I have a note, has had 5 field goals, at least of 54 yards. Plus, as a bird, no other bird kicker has more than 1. If I said that right. I am so sorry for my throat. I have to.
And he missed the
clearing it.
extra point.
He did.
Yes.
Jakey.
Which
Yes.
is rare for Jake. Does he have a nickname
I
officially?
don't think so.
No,
I didn't think
Jake the Snake.
Yeah, we call him that. But yeah, I was surprised. He rarely misses a field goal. He's so great, but he's human. It does happen. But I was a little surprised because he did miss one. So thank you. That's it.
I completely agree with
Coach.
Coach Dante, 1,000%. Why? Who is your player of the game or pariah of the game?
Well, I was going my player of the game, by King mentioned. I was going to say Fletcher Cox because man, you knew I was on Fletcher Cox's ass a couple weeks ago because he hasn't done anything, but
Yeah.
he finally showed up, and I'm glad you mentioned it because, like, man, I've just said it like a week or two ago, but man, he actually had a good game this week. But since it was already mentioned, I'm gonna go with boy Reed Blankenship. He came in and did it was next man up mentality, got that interception. But other than the interception, he played fantastic. He just had it seemed like he just had great instincts, flying around, getting it. He's not afraid to throw his body around and just like level dudes to get the tackle. And I feel like that's what we're gonna need, especially in this Titans game coming up. So he had a fantastic game. I mean, he had that one or two plays towards the end of the game that were a little shaky, but I mean, you're gonna have that. You can't be perfect all the time. But for an undrafted rookie, man, it was a hell of a way to step up.
Hey, Coach Dante, if you missed another one, I was done, bro. I was
mad if you would have missed that 54, boy. Jake,
and I'm gonna say Pariah. Jonathan Gannon's my pariah until further notice.
Yes.
So he was going to be one of my pariahs, but I'll let why I have that one. I'll start with my player of the game. So my player of the game is the players of the game. It's the 5 men that make up the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. You allowed them to get 263 rushing yards against another NFL team. So I got to give y'all love for that. My other pariah of the game is the whole stinking lot of special teams, the coaches, the players, their trainers, whoever washed their uniforms, whoever fixed their meals, everybody. They are the pariahs.
I need a tissue. Hold on.
That was great.
All right, so we'll do our one non-Eagles, but Eagles-related topic for the week, and that's our if the season ended today. So basically, with this, we just talk about the playoff rankings for the divisions and for the. I'm still mad at the special teams. My bad, y'all. For the NFC and the AFC, who's in the playoffs and the spots that they're in. So we'll start off as always with the AFC. So at 9-2, the Chiefs are the number 1 overall seed in the AFC. At 8-3, the Miami Dolphins are the number 2. And I will add with the Miami Dolphins, their 3 losses was the game that Tua got hurt and the 2 games that he missed. So the games that Tua has started and finished, they're 8-0. So the Dolphins team is a team to watch out for sure. Tennessee Titans are 3rd at 7-4. Baltimore Ravens are 4th at 7-4 as well. And the wild card spots to the Buffalo Bills 8-3. The Cincinnati Bengals at 7-4. And surprisingly, the New York Football Jets are 7th at 7-4. There's a lot of talk about the AFC West and how great it was. Right now, one team in the playoffs and one team kind of knocking on the door. Tied at 6-5 are the New England Patriots and the LA Chargers. And pretty much 10 and below have 4 wins or less. So, it's kind of looking like that 9 is the ones to really watch for. Somebody might surprise you, but that seems like the 9 right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, any thoughts on the AFC and their playoff picture?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much we mentioned it's the same teams we kind of mentioned last week. As far as like the Chiefs, the Dolphins are really some of the top teams there in the AFC, and of course the Titans who are going to play this week. But man, we didn't mention last week, but we saw it this week. But man, those Bengals are up and coming. It seems like they're kind of getting their stuff together. Their O-line's getting healthy. Jamar Chase is coming back. So the Bengals, they might be going on a run here and try to make, have a strong playoff run going towards the end of the season. But they're just another team that's probably going to go up to the top of them rankings here soon.
Definitely. Anyone else have any thoughts on the AFC?
I think the Bills. I really think the Bills and the Chiefs is going to end it in the AFC Championship. I think that's what everybody wants to see. I think it's going to get to that point where all the rest of the teams is going to get knocked out. The Chiefs is going to get their first round bye, and the Dolphins is going to have to battle. They're going to have to battle.
Yeah. Defense.
And I think they're going to get halted because everybody know in the playoffs everything slows down to the point where Tyreek Hill wasn't Tyreek Hill until he met Patrick Mahomes to the point where he was able to do those things that he does. Yes, he's the fastest receiver in the league, but I really think that it's going to be between the Bills and the Chiefs at the end of the day. We could talk about the Bengals, we could talk about everybody else, but at the end of the day, those two teams are who people are looking at. So I think that one of those two teams are going to come out the AFC. Who?
Okay.
I don't know.
I think the Dolphins got a shot too, but I think, like you said, the defense is going to be a little bit of a problem for them. But I think other than that, they have a good shot. That remember, y'all, a few minutes we were talking about that number 3 team over there in the AFC got to come to Philadelphia and see the 10-1 Eagles. Speaking of 10-1 Eagles, still best team in the NFL, best team in NFC. Followed with even though they're 9-2, we have a 2-game lead over the Vikings, thanks to the mollywhopping that we bestowed upon them earlier in the season. The 49ers have moved up to the number 3 seed at 7-4. And then we started getting into interesting situations. So we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4. They're only 5-6. Then we have, since we're doing this professionally, I'm going to say the Dallas Cowboys. We know I want to say Arlington football team at 8-3 in the 5 seed. Right now we have the New York Giants in the 6 seed at 7-4. And in the 7th seed, the last team in the NFC Beast, the Washington Commanders. So right now, the season ended today. Everyone that has said NFC leads for years and you won the division with 6 wins a couple years ago. Guess what? We're whooping all of your hindquarters every time we see you. That's why we're the best division in football. Things hold up. We could be the first division ever to get all 4 teams in the playoffs. On the bubble, we've got the Seattle Seahawks at 6-5. They're still looking good. The Atlanta Falcons at 5-7. Then after that, we start the 4-win teams, and I'm not even going into that until they win some more games.
Yeah.
So, ladies first. Do you ladies have any thoughts on that playoff picture for the NFC?
I'm trying to save my voice till the very end, so I'll pass to Miss Diva.
We're running through all that. That's all I got to say.
All right.
DV, any thoughts, man?
I'm gonna be a gentleman, right? And I'm gonna say shout out to all the contestants in the NFC East for actually stop laughing. I'm trying.
I know, man. My
bad. For actually, being in the playoffs right now, but at the same time, man, you already know who's number 1. You already know who's going to be number 1. I don't even know why it's always a debate this season, at least, who's going to be number 1. The Eagles is about to be number 1. We got so many opportunities, if not this week, especially the following week, to get a playoff position at best. And then we can lock down the number 1 seed. But, shout out to the Cowgirls, the midgets, the toy soldiers.
Oh, that's where I got it from.
To sit up there and just, hey, y'all have a chance, man. But you remember that meme where the guy, it was a commercial and he had a Fisher rod, so you almost had it. Yeah. The Eagles about to take this division over, and so I say that to say this: if the playoffs start today, if the Cowgirls beat whoever they're going to play, they run into the Eagles at the link. I will bet my whole paycheck that the Eagles will demolish them. I'm trying to keep it PG-13, y'all.
I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes
I've
I have
been
to
having-
take a breath.
I've been having adult Kool-Aid, so pardon me. But no, all seriousness, I think that the Eagles could win, especially if the playoffs run into the link. So run through the link.
Yeah, that's what
Eagles
happened.
got it all the
2017.
way. Yeah. You see with the Vikings got that catch. Stephon Diggs was all hype, and then all of a sudden, Skull.
Those guys, man. Why? Do you have any thoughts? Why those guys?
Yeah, man. We just gotta keep doing what we're doing. Keep stacking some wins. Keep us ahead of some of these other teams. That way we can secure that number one spot. Get that home field advantage. And hopefully the rest is all she wrote. And the only other thing I'm gonna say is Buccaneers better hope they don't run into us again, because it's gonna be hell to pay after last year, man. We gonna run it through on them. Like Tom Brady. It's different year, different season, different team. So I mean, I'm kind of hoping we run into them Bucks a little bit.
Hey, you know me, I want all the smoke. Bring it all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna agree with Coach Dante's two comments here, but I will say one thing, Coach Dante, I don't think that they're a dark horse anymore. I think a lot of people are believing that they're going to make it to the NFC Championship game. We'll see, but I think they have a good shot. Also, from the mouth of Coach Dante, this is not me. The NFC East might have 3 teams participating in the playoffs. I think the Giants are going to fall apart. I don't think the Giants will make it. These are Coach Dante's words.
I think the same thing.
Not mine. I am not going to argue with Coach Dante on his words. I'm just letting you know it's Coach Dante's words, not mine.
He the coach, so he knows.
Yeah. I've mentioned it over, I don't know, a couple weeks, in a row. It's like, I am not afraid of these Giants. Even when they went on like that 7-game win streak, I wasn't impressed by this team. Just watching this team, it's like the least impressive run that they've had as like a 7-0 team. It just wasn't impressive. Like Daniel Jones wasn't throwing over 200 yards really at all. He was just running. There just was nothing impressive about that team, and it's starting to show. The other teams are starting to figure them out slowly as it's going. But I mean, you got to give credit to Brian. Is it Brian Daboll over there? He turned that culture around though. So who knows what they're going to be like in the next year or two? They just need a new quarterback.
I'm gonna be honest. With the way they got beat by the Dallas Cowgirls, and they got beat by the Lions.
Not us.
These are facts. Now, speaking of Philadelphia Eagles, which we speak about a lot on this show, of course,
all the time,
we are going to preview. Excuse me, that says review. That should say preview. So let me fix that real quick. That P, I didn't say that little change there. You know what I'm saying?
My stomach hurts from laughing so hard.
Yeah, so we got that AJ Brown game preview. There we go. Nice and correct on the screen now. I'll go real fast. AJ Brown had a bad couple of games, been sick. He gets to play. The team that shipped him off didn't believe in him, didn't want to pay him. The city said negative things about him. He showed him love when he left. They dogged him, said they didn't need him, talked trash about him. Guess what? I'm sitting Devontae Smith this week in fantasy because I don't see a way that he has a great game because I do believe that there will be a lion's share of the targets, rightfully so, that are going to go to the direction of Swole Batman this week. I think we're going to have to run the ball some as well on this Titans defense. I'm a little concerned. I think this is the game that I circled. Like, this is one we could lose because we have struggled against the run. But I'm an Eagles fan, so you know what I'm about to say. Fly, Eagles, fly. You know what I'm saying?
There it is.
I mean, I told you, Coach knew.
Coach ain't lying. He ain't lying. No lies detected.
Well, maybe Coach can take Gannon's job. He's a coach.
I mean, yeah,
Hey.
Coach. My vote for Coach.
Yeah.
Mhm,
My
me
vote
too.
is for my boy's 1-year-old.
Hey, couldn't make it worse.
I feel like you could get the algorithm for Ask Madden, like from the Madden games, and you would still have a better defense than what this dude calling.
You could take a baby, put plays on the table, and say, "Hit one, baby." It'll be better because that baby is not going to hit the same play 30 times a game.
Hey, did y'all ever watch that commercial? When it's supposed to be like a scary commercial, and it's a group of kids, and they sitting up there saying, to get away from the killer,
Geico, the chainsaw.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
When the girl said, "Let's get her in the car," I think that's us. But the person that said, "How behind the chainsaws," that's Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah.
That's
Oh
who
my
that is.
God.
He's
Oh
like,
my
they'll
God.
never expect it. If you play soft zone, they won't even expect it. We'll get
They
them.
won't even see it. They won't see it coming.
They're not going to believe that we ran soft zone 5 times in a row. It's
Right.
They're not going to believe it.
They're gonna think it's delusion. They're just
Yeah.
He's sitting
Hey.
at home.
Guess what we going through? We going through that again.
yeah.
He's sitting at home, drinking some
Oh,
spiked Kool-Aid. He's like, you know what's great? We're not gonna just do soft zone 5 times. We're gonna do 25 times.
How you like that?
We joke about it, but it's giving me vibes of like that. What was it, like the 2019 Chiefs, where it's like every game they played in, they had to just outscore the other team every game, and that's
My
where I
vote is
hope we're
for-
not getting to. Like,
my vote is
I
for Coach
really don't want
Dante.
to have to be in that position.
My vote is for Coach Dante.
I told y'all. I told you.
Yeah.
Trojan. You're the coach.
Yeah.
You know it.
Second
He
place,
knows.
your 1-year-old. That'd be after coach.
He could be his defensive backs coach.
There you go.
Actually, he probably wouldn't be the defensive line coach because all he'll probably say is hit. So, yeah.
That works.
Still more than Jonathan Gannon. King DV, man, what are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think AJ Brown is going to be the main target for the Tennessee Titans defense. They're not really great at the secondary, but I think AJ Brown is going to open it up for the Devontae Smiths, for the Quez Watkins. If Zach Pascal get a couple plays in, he's going to open it up for him. Also, Kenneth Gainwell. So I think that AJ Brown is just going to be more of a decoy. I'll be shocked if he has a monster game like 140 plus yards.
So you saying I should put Devontae
Steven.
Smith back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think AJ Brown is going to be that monster that we all think he should be because of how everything went down. But I do think that Nick Sirianni put a gem in his head, like, hey, you don't need to go all out in this game. We just need to go out here and get this win.
Why? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the key, if we can do it, is stopping the run, man. Like, you got Derrick Henry. This is one of the biggest dudes. He's a beast out there. Not many teams can solve a way to stop him. So, I mean, they're going to have their work cut out for him this week. I mean, like I mentioned before, put Reed Blankenship back there. I don't know. You're going to need somebody there that's a beast that can tackle somebody like that. But like I mentioned, as long as we go on off of the run like we did these past, like especially with the Packers here, go off the run, which opens up the play action, everything. As long as this offense can do what we've been doing, like with the Packers and so on, we should be good. My main concern is that defense.
Definitely. Yeah, hey, I mean, if it is a concern, it would be fair for it to be that. So, Miss Swoop, what you got? I know you've been saving your voice for this. So, what you got?
I have to keep clearing my voice. It's rude. So I'll make this as short as possible. I totally agree with Wyatt. I think the key for Philly winning the game against the Titans is on the defensive side. The Titans are coming off a loss to the Bengals, like we said, and their first place in the AFC South. I'm just sort of reminding myself more than ever. Birds have a very strong offense, but I think they're going to be put to the test. Titans defense has allowed like 18.6 points per game, I think, so far. Eagles are going to have to rely, like it's been said, more on their passing game this week because I think Tennessee is allowing third fewest points, so far. And, the Birds just need to shut down Tennessee's rushing attack early. I think with our 2 new additions to the defense, we control the line of scrimmage, and that'll help us with that's a major help to us with the Tennessee victory. So thank you for putting up with me clearing my throat so much.
Not a problem. Last but not least, Miss Eagles Diva, talk to us.
My main concern is always going to be this run game, this run defense game. Derrick Henry is a beast. I mean, dude is big. You're definitely going to have to make sure you are wrapping up because we don't like to wrap up. So we definitely going to have to wrap up and give extra help on the defense. Offense, we are going to have to definitely probably pass a little more than we like to. But I feel like if the O-line get out there and do blocking like they supposed to and get good blocks, Miles can get a few yards, possibly Jalen. And I think the offense is going to be okay. We just got to watch. We got to be safe with throwing the ball. Don't try to force certain plays because I know sometimes Jalen will try to force in a really tight window, and that's how you get your interceptions. But I think other than that, we'll be good. Just like I said, don't go out there and do nothing stupid. Don't shy away from the run game all the way because I know sometimes we do like to do that and want to just pass. Can't do that. And I really feel like AJ Brown will have a monster game because he really hasn't had the last 3 games were okay and he's had fumbles. So I feel like he's gonna come back and he's gonna have a monster game because he said he felt like he won coming to Philadelphia. So he want to show them what they lost, and I believe he's gonna make them pay, like you saw him do with the Steelers game. He probably be like, you had a chance, and you did, and that's gonna be the game.
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
I would definitely love to see that. All right, so guys, we'll go around. I'll just let whoever who wants to give their final thoughts for this week's edition of the Eagles Elite Podcast.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say,
who's going first?
The last thing I wanted to say pretty much about the game is I feel like this is going to be a tough game between just both parties, just because of how tough and disciplined that Titans team is, especially under Coach Vrabel. I know they have some missing pieces, but similar to our team, all their players want to play for that coach, and they're going to go out and give it their all. So, I mean, this is going to be a very tough game. There's a reason they have the record they have. So I think this is going to be one of the toughest games we've had to face here, and probably one of the top 3 toughest games this season we're going to face.
Definitely. Swoop, you ready?
Yes, sir. I am ready. I have to say that for me, this was the podcast I've done with y'all so far. My stomach hurts from laughing so hard. King DV, you were so wonderful. I so enjoyed having you on the show. And just thank you so much for doing that. I apologize for me having to clear my throat. And I just wanted to thank Alyssa, Eagles Locker Room, JC, Coach Dante, my husband, anybody that live chatted during the entire show. I can speak for everybody. We really, really appreciate y'all. So much fun to do it that way. And I'm pretty sure that's the last of my voice. So love you guys. Great podcast. I got to stop talking. Wow.
All right, King DV, what you got for us, man?
Man, all I want to say is this. I was excited to be on the show. I like what you guys doing, your movement. Everything is like great with you guys, man. And I hope to be back sooner than later. But at the same time, back to the game. The Titans have 3 guys that have 5.5 sacks on the season. 3 guys. But they rarely blitz. They don't blitz as much. They just stay put. I think we could get over on them there. Also, I think that we will probably attack the secondary, even though we don't like that. We want to establish the run early, not in the second half, like we've been doing. But I think overall, man, I'm gonna just give my final score. My final score is going to be 27-20. Eagles is going to win this game.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Diva, what's wrong?
Fly Eagles fly. That's the only thing I gotta say. And I appreciate everybody. That's it. Appreciate you, King DV. Y'all check him out. He got a show as well. Hit that like and subscribe button, and y'all come on back next week.
Hey, and Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry. I got something to say to you, but first I just want to say, make sure we grab those legs, Derrick Henry. Make sure we gang tackle. Try to get him before he gets started. We sold it. That's the way you stop him. You get to him before he gets moving. And Titans, I just want to remind y'all.
There it is.
0 games being played over here, baby. So, hey, we appreciate everybody watching, everybody in the comments, everybody that catches the replay. Much love. And, we're going to go ahead and end things here for the week. Shout out to King DV for stopping through and hanging out with us. It'll be a mess, but we appreciate you. And we'll be back next week with more tomfoolery and shenanigans. As long as I'm involved, it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Good night, Mom and Dad.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin!
That was a good show, man.